What if the Golden State Warriors realize that the answer they've been seeking for their future lies in their past? What if the spark to revive their fading dynasty is someone who once made silence roar with victory? The Warriors' 2024-25 season ended in disappointment. Their run stopped in the second round of the playoffs. The Minnesota Timberwolves brought their campaign to a close. Though the signs of decline were visible earlier, this defeat felt more symbolic than tactical. Stephen Curry, the greatest player in Warriors history, only played 13 minutes in the pivotal series. Without him, the team looked exposed and fragmented, like a group without direction. The locker room, once used to preparing for NBA Finals, was left to face an early exit. What remained was frustration and the sting of a painful reality. But amid the gloom, a nostalgic and intriguing rumor began to circulate: the possible return of Klay Thompson. Yes, Klay, the man who once dropped 60 points in 3 quarters, the Game 6 sniper, one of the finest shooters in league history, a foundational piece of the Warriors dynasty that reshaped modern basketball. Now, Klay wears blue, but it's not the familiar blue and gold of Golden State. He moved on to the Dallas Mavericks, hoping to rediscover his rhythm. Yet, according to Clutch Points journalist Jed Pigden, there are whispers coming from California, serious talks about reuniting with Thompson. Before diving deeper, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Here, we don't just report the news, we examine the turning points that could change the NBA's future. And if you're a Warriors fan, or simply someone who admires the thin line between glory and collapse, this space is for you. Pigden didn't mince words. He believes that even at 35, Klay Thompson would be more valuable than the version of Moses Moody seen during the 2025 playoffs. While Klay is aging and past his prime, Moody is still trying to prove he belongs in the regular rotation. And when it mattered most, Moody didn't deliver. He was left out of the game plan against Minnesota and only saw the court when injuries forced Steve Kerr to dig deeper into the bench. Klay, despite no longer being the defensive force he once was, still thrives in his core strength: shooting. He averaged 14 points per game and shot 39.1% from 3 with the Mavericks in the 2024-25 season. These aren't superstar stats, but they offer reliability, something Moody couldn't provide. Experience adds another layer to this comparison. Thompson has played in 158 playoff games. That kind of postseason mileage brings wisdom, resilience, and the ability to perform under pressure. Yes, he's had setbacks. His last game in a Warriors jersey, a scoreless outing in the 2024 play-in against Sacramento, was painful to watch. But basketball is full of second chances. Maybe to end a chapter properly, you have to start it again. Thompson's potential return isn't just about reliving the past, it's about system fit, natural chemistry, and understanding Steve Kerr's playbook instinctively. Klay wouldn't need to adjust or learn anything new. He already knows the system. He's won in it. While Moody still searches for consistency, Thompson offers immediate synergy. He's a veteran willing to accept a supporting role. He doesn't need the ball to be effective. He turns minimal touches into points. On a team dealing with age, injuries, and questionable decisions, that kind of presence could mean everything. Of course, there are concerns. Thompson's defense has slipped. His explosiveness has waned. He's no longer someone who can carry a team. But does he have to? Maybe all he needs is a clearly defined role. A coach who trusts him. A fan base that still chants his name. Perhaps the Warriors need him as much as he needs them. That leads to a deeper question. What holds more value? The unrealized potential of Moses Moody, or the certainty that Klay Thompson, even in decline, still knows what it means to be a Warrior? Let us know what you think in the comments. This topic is splitting the fan base, and your input matters. Yet, while Klay's return offers emotional value, there's another more urgent gap the Warriors can't ignore. One that even the best shooter in the world can't fix. The 2025 playoffs revealed a glaring weakness. Golden State needs a true center. Someone who can protect the rim, control the paint, and provide the defensive presence they've been missing. Kevon Looney, despite his history and work ethic, is no longer enough. Quentin Post, although promising, is still adapting to the league. Time is not on the Warriors' side. And at 37, Stephen Curry can't carry a flawed roster anymore. His magical moments can't mask systemic issues. This team needs structure, and it starts with the center position. Clutch Points raised another possibility. A bold trade for Cleveland Cavaliers center Jarrett Allen. The proposed deal would send Moses Moody, Gui Santos, Trace Jackson Davis, and 2 protected first-round picks, 2026 and 2028, to Cleveland. In return, Golden State would receive Allen and guard Craig Porter Jr. This isn't a nostalgic move. It's a strategic shift, a push to restore the team's defensive identity. Allen may not be a media darling, but he brings what Golden State sorely lacks. He's a 26-year-old rim protector, physically dominant and still in his prime. He could be a modern version of Looney, but with more athleticism and better lateral mobility. More importantly, he could share the defensive load with Draymond Green, who remains a tactical mastermind but can no longer cover all gaps by himself. With Allen, the Warriors wouldn't need to experiment with small ball lineups or scramble for solutions during the playoffs. They'd have a reliable presence in the paint and could allow Curry to focus on what he does best: shooting, moving, and closing games. But every deal has 2 sides. From Cleveland's perspective, there's hesitation. The Cavaliers were eliminated by the Pacers in disappointing fashion, yet they still view Allen as a key piece. His connection with Evan Mobley and Darius Garland forms part of their core. Quality defensive centers are rare, and Cleveland knows this. The offer, while interesting, might not be enough. That's why another name is surfacing in trade talks: Jonathan Kuminga. At just 22, Kuminga emerged as one of the Warriors' top performers this season. His physical and offensive development caught the league's attention. While the front office wants to keep his talent, acquiring a player like Allen might require a higher price. If Kuminga becomes part of the trade, everything changes. It wouldn't just be a roster tweak. It would reshape the team's identity. Would the Warriors really let go of their most promising young player just to make one final push? Remember, Curry, Green, and potentially Klay Thompson are nearing the end of their careers. The clock is ticking. Should the Warriors wait for Quentin Post and Trace Jackson Davis to mature, or should they go all in now while Curry still has the power to swing a series? The dilemma is real. Now picture this: Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, reborn; Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Jarrett Allen. A new core, a new chapter. It wouldn't mirror the offensive fireworks of 2016, but it might resemble the grit and defensive dominance of the 2022 title run. More physicality, better structure, smarter matchups, and while Craig Porter Jr. might not be the headline, he would be a useful addition. A young guard capable of managing valuable minutes off the bench. But in this scenario, all eyes are on Allen and the steep cost of bringing him in. If the Warriors pull the trigger on this trade, they're making a bold statement. The Looney era is over. Defense is the new foundation. It's a high-stakes bet, but maybe it's the only one that makes sense. So, is it worth it? Are Moody, Santos, Jackson Davis, and 2 future picks worth less than Allen's immediate impact? Or is this the type of trade that dooms a franchise to live in its past? And how far would the Warriors go to finalize this deal? If Kuminga is added, what else might be on the table? Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you risk it all for Jared Allen? Or stick with the young core and build slowly toward a new dynasty? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. In our next episodes, we'll explore how this trade might affect Draymond Green's role, Quentin Post's future, and even signal a shift in Steve Kerr's tactical system. Is this the end of a dynasty or the start of something new? That answer is still unfolding.